Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your November Soul session. I am Marlowe if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and welcome back to my face. This is it. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, let's go ahead and jump into your cards and see what's going on with you guys for the first half of November. And hope that you're not a part of the long chain of all the signs that I have done thus far. And the same story. Okie dokie, lemon chokey. Interestingly enough, when I was clearing this deck, this card came out in the reverse. I am happy to see it. This is interesting. In the upright. All right. So first card out. Let's try and see if we can do this right. Oh, look at me. Okay. So we have the world card. Of course, you guys know I aligned that with the fixed signs, and that is Taurus, that is Scorpio, that is Leo, that is Aquarius. So coming into the month of November, you guys are wrapping up an epic karmic cycle. There is a sense of completion. There's a sense of a lesson that should have been learned. And I mean, hopefully, Gemini, you guys learned the lesson. So I more or less fear, is that a Freudian slip? Fear it. I'm a Gemini rising. I don't need to fear nothing right now, child, because the last 6 months, okay, anyway. But I feel it more or less like what I'm being shown in my third eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like a suction type of thing that I'm seeing. It's kind of seeing Gemini enveloped in this energy, and I'm seeing it like, you know what I'm saying? Like being sucked away. Maybe that's, Archangel Michael with a spiritual vacuum and things of the sort. But that's neither here nor there. It's a cycle that's wrapping up for you guys, leaving out of October and coming into November. The next card that we have is the wait, I didn't do it right. Hold on. I'm trying to get my YouTuber on. Okay. The Eight of Cuppies in the reverse. So I'm going to tell you this. Here's the thing. I feel there's the potential coming into November. Ooh, child. I don't want to go as far as to say like repeating past mistakes, Gemini, but I feel like this is if I could say it this way, it's more or less like an offer that's on the table here. And I'm gonna say it like this. So it's not the Hermit reverse. Hermit reverse, you're definitely repeating past mistakes. That's not here. So I feel like there's going to be an opportunity that's going to come in the very early part of November, which would very much be like the first week or so, because we're looking at the first 2 weeks. So this could quite possibly be the first week. I feel that more in the sense of towards the latter part of the first week. So like somewhere around like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, around that time, like the weekend of the first week. And I feel there's a potential where there's someone who could return from your past. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be, a former friend that, you used to do unscrupulous things with. It could be an ex-partner. It could literally be an old job even, you know what I'm saying? But with this cycle wrapping up for you guys, I feel whatever or whoever this is, this would be you guys shifting into an is not is paradigm. So the work that you've done up to this point has got you to complete this particular cycle. And like I said, there's lessons that you guys should have learned from what it is that you have been through. And I'm saying should, not necessarily as an expectation, but in more or less in the sense of like, yeah, I definitely couldn't say as an expectation, because it's kind of like understood. Like you wouldn't even be in a position to where it would be a question of, did I learn the lesson? Because, the world wouldn't be upright if you didn't. So it's kind of one of those things where you have something in your back pocket that you learn from what you've been through. So whatever traumatic stuff, I mean, it doesn't have to be traumatic, but whatever like BS that you've been through, like in the last couple of months, last year, whatever the case, that's kind of waning away at this particular point. I feel that this is like an is not is paradigm that's coming up kind of like a crossroads where it's something that's going to be representative of the past cycle that you guys have come out of, that's going to come back into your life. And it's going to be like, hey, you want to go backwards? You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing about it is I don't feel that it's going to necessarily show up in a way to where you're like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? I feel that it's going to show up in a way where it's kind of like that one person that you always wanted to change and be different suddenly pops back into your life and is like, hey, I went to rehab, or I found Jesus, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this person all of a sudden pops up And from what I'm seeing, so sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. With this next card, let me see if I can do it right. Bam, the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel what it is that they're going to offer you is hollow and shallow, right? I feel like it's going to be the illusion thereof. So this is, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but if this is literally like a job, if it's a friend, if you got sober and then you have a friend that still was using when you got sober and they're like, oh, I'm sober now. It's like whatever it is that they're offering to you, I feel not necessarily that there's a catch per se to it, but I just feel like it's hollow because what it is that I'm seeing energetically of what it looks like, and it's really weird what the hell they're showing me right now. Blame my guides. They're showing me like, you know, those Easter bunnies, my spiritual team all day long. They're showing me like those Easter bunnies that you get during Easter, right? And you know how, like, you know, I mean, like some of them I've noticed, you know, in recent years, they actually have like solid ones, but the one that they're showing me is like the little chocolate Easter bunny. And like if you poke it, you see that it's hollow on the inside. Like that's what they're showing me this Ace of Pentacles is like. So it's like whatever it is that this person offers to you, it's going to seem on the surface as if it has some validity or it has some substance or that it's a whole goddamn rabbit, right? But once you kind of really dig into it, you're going to see that it's hollow. You feel what I'm saying? And like, this is the thing I've realized with me showing my face again. Most of you guys who've been with me for some time know I go on rants. Like these whole, and it's not like a random rant, it's like a very educational rant. You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling something with this where this is a huge lesson for you. So this is not his paradigm that you guys are going through. It's imperative for you to realize that because, and I hate to say this way, but it's like, especially when you hit about 35, okay? People don't change much. Like you're going to rarely, and when I say rarely, I mean rarely, not saying that it's not possible because this is coming from a person as a therapist, which is why I'm treading lightly as I say this. But once a person gets to about 35, you know, the quote that says like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's like when a person gets to about 35 years old, the chances of them having epic personality shifts and changes are very, very rare. It's not to say that it could not potentially happen, but I mean, what we're really talking about here is building up skill sets, recognizing maladaptive behaviors, and I hate to use jargon, but, you know, recognizing maladaptive behaviors and making them more adaptive, you know what I mean? So you can function properly in life. But a person having a full-on transformation after the age of 35 is just kind of rare. And it's just because of the way your brain structure and all the things are set up and like, you know, being conditioned beyond conditioning and things of the sort. Not saying that people can't change, but if you have a person, and to all my people who are in recovery out there, you know what I'm saying. It's the fact of like, you know, depending on what camp you're coming from, it's like if you ever struggle with an addiction, even if you are sober, you feel what I'm saying? It's the fact that you still have like an addictive personality. So it's like that addiction kind of just transfers forms and you're just doing something more positive with that addictive personality. So I'm saying all of this to say to keep that in mind. So with this person, it's like what has shifted and changed about this particular person is more or less external stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's like nothing to it, which is why my guides are showing me the Easter bunny that is hollow on the inside, which means like there's no validity to it. Like it hasn't really taken root. You feel what I'm saying? And they're telling me to show this to you again. And it's, oh, come on, goddamn autofocus. Okay. And you notice like, you know, that little pentacle has roots, right? But the card's upside down. So it's like, what the hell are the roots going into? You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like hollow. So what I would say to you, Gemini, don't fall for the okie doke. So, you know, putting that plain and simple, it's somebody or something that's returning from your past that would be a very clear, direct representation of what it is that you just came out of. Now, the next card that we have is Scorpio energy. That's the Tower in the reverse. I think I just accidentally made that clear. Look at me, y'all, doing things. Anywho, but with this World card, like I said, that's fixed signs. We already have a Scorpio here. So potentially, Holy God in America, I'm not here for this today. All of the signs are just hanging out with each other. I don't know if Scorpio reading resonates with you. I'm probably gonna do another Scorpio reading because I feel like Scorpio's reading was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was very simple, to the point. Whatever. But anyway, but with the Tower in the reverse, this is more or less like avoiding a disaster. So here's the deal. I don't know if it's from you listening to this. I don't know if it's you just kind of recognizing the bullshit. But oh, child, damn Jesus. Come on with it, spirit. Deliver the Gemini. We have the Devil in the reverse and the Three of Wands. That's Capricorn energy. That is exactly what I'm saying. The month of November for my Geminis, this would be a month of self-deliverance for you all, because here is the key, my beautiful Geminis. I'm a Gemini rising. I want to be included. I just had to say that so I can get hugs from all the Geminis out there. Moving right along. So here's the deal. With the Devil in the reverse coming up, for a lot of you guys, because I don't know why I was using so many of the addiction references, for a lot of you guys, it very well could be those of you who are in recovery from addictions. You feel what I'm saying? And this could literally be someone offering you drugs or something, or a drink or something, whatever it is, whatever, you know, what titillated you in the past, or whatever the case. But me looking at the beginning and the end, and this is something that keeps happening, our first card and our last card of you guys reading, which is the World and the Three of Wands, this is what the plan is for November. You feel what I'm saying? And this is the stuff that's happening in the meantime, in between time. So this is you guys is not his paradigm. The fact that we have 2 minor arcanas and 2 major arcanas, that says to me that this is pretty much, the cycle has wrapped up in an energetic spiritual sense, right? Of you guys learning what it is that you need to learn. So this is kind of like when the teacher, aka spirit, is quiet during the test. This would be the test based on what it is that you guys have learned in the training of this particular cycle that you have been in. So there's going to be something or someone, and this is me just kind of reiterating things to wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so there's going to be something or someone that comes back from your past that is very much representative of what it is that you just came out of. The offer that they give you is bullshit offer. It's not going to lead to anything. It's not going to take root. It's not going to grow. If anything, is going to set you back on all the progress that you've made already. And ain't nobody got time for that, child, because these cycles we just been in. Anyway, so if you recognize it for what it is, whether that's from you hearing this soul session, or, you know, you just so bomb with your growth and things that you just know what's popping. You feel what I'm saying? Then we get to the Tower, which is you guys avoiding a disaster, because there's no need for that mindset that imprisoned you to be deconstructed, because you already recognize it was deconstructed in that past cycle. So you've already set yourself free. So when we come to the Devil in the reverse, this is literally you now transitioning through this energy of the chains being freed and you being delivered, right? Because, you know, it's understanding sometimes that too much of a good thing ain't always a good thing. You got to stay balanced. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, but then we get to the Two of Wands, and this is all about by the 15th of the month, why I say the end and the beginning. It's you guys making the decision to leave the past behind permanently. And the only way, and here's the thing, don't know why I need to say this, but it's like, if you're, and I use this example in a sign that before y'all said or something like that, but I talked about, like, if you were married to someone for 20 years, you can't, and the person suddenly just like divorces you, you can't just be like, oop, I'm over that. Poof, pile, surprise, bitch, I'm good. Right? You can't do that, because that's not how it works. It's like you have to go through the process. You feel what I'm saying? And it's the same thing when we're coming out of cycles. It's like, you could tell yourself repeatedly, because the thing that my guides are telling me specifically to say, you could tell yourself, and child, I don't know who I'm talking to, child. I don't know who you is, but I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell yourself 1,000 times you're over this dude or you're over this chick, right? You could tell yourself that 1,000 times, right? But you're never going to know if you're really over them, because it's just like, oh, bump them, don't nobody care. Ain't nobody got feelings for them. I'm over that. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Until that motherfucker show up at your door. Okay, now if that person calls, texts you, shows up at your door with some flowers, with the, oh, I'm sorry, saying all of the right stuff, That's the moment that you know for sure if you're really over that person. Because if they show up at your doorstep, and child, if they flew from France to the Americas and showed up at your doorstep and you was really over them, you would slam the door on them and be like, my bad. At least you got you some little frequent flyer miles. You know what I'm saying? But if you weren't over that person, it would be very difficult for you to close the door on that person. And you would try to normalize or intellectualize why it is that you're fraternizing with this person. Oh, I want to be a nice person. How could I just turn them away? And like, oh, they need help. That's because you're not over the person. So the thing is a lot of times when I see stuff like this happen, people feel like spirit is setting them up for the okie doke. And it's like, no, because whenever you're at a crossroads, the crossroads has absolutely nothing to do with spirit and everything to do with you, because spirit already knows all of the answers to every goddamn thing. If we could bring it back, since we got the devil card here in the reverse, which would be the inversion to the Lover's card. That's like, you know, you're not twins as in twin flames, but those are twinning cards because you reduce 15 to 6 and you get the Lover's card, and then the Lover's card and the Devil card and the Rider-Waite look exactly the same. Y'all know this. Y'all read motherfuck twin flames. Moving right along, right? And that's the card that represents Gemini. But if we literally bring it back to like the Lover's card, aka the story of Adam and Eve, which is what I wrote about in the first chapter of my book, Motherfuck Twin Flames. All of you who have read it, you know this already. But for the people who don't, I will tell the story very quickly and I will let you go, Gemini, because I know that y'all have really dope Gemini things to do. Anywho, in the garden, this is Genesis chapter 3 for my Bible scholars out there, right? After the whole forbidden fruit, fall of man type of thing, Spirit is in the garden and asks Adam, where are you? Why the hell would Spirit have to ask when Spirit is the all-knowing, all-seeing everything? Why the hell would Spirit ask Adam where he was as if Spirit did not already know the answer? Okay, it's not because Spirit wanted to know where Adam was. Spirit already knew where Adam was. Spirit wanted Adam to realize where the hell he was. Where are you? I know exactly where you at. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I know my son doing something, he ain't got no damn business. And I'm like, what are you doing? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So this is really the vibe. That's a test. Whenever we find ourselves at crossroads in life, whenever we find ourselves in tests in life, one that my Geminis are going to face in the month of November, it is not because Spirit needs to learn anything about you, because Spirit knows all that there is to know. When you're at a crossroads, the decisions that you make, every decision that you make, every decision you ever made in your life is a statement of who you are. So if you fail a test, it's not because the system is crooked and everybody was against you and all of the things. It just means that you were not prepared for the test and you need to get some remedial work so you can learn the information that you didn't get, hence what caused you to fail. You feel what I'm saying? So the way that we get out of cycles is the energy will wrap up energetically, because that's what it always does. But you have to make a statement of who and what you are. The statement that Gemini is making in the month of November is whether you want to move forward into a new life or do you want to step backwards and relive your past again. Because you don't have to, because you got the world upright. That's your beginning. Your end is the Two of Wands, which is you leaving that ball and chain behind. So the path is clear to follow through. It's just all up to you whether or not you do it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Gemini, that has been your soul session for the month of November. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think in the comments. I love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. You know what I'm saying?